Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Sakaraki. And on Street Talk, we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, all across the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Dennis Burnside.
Okay, we just got all kind of stuff to talk about. I just want to mention that the people, 42 million, they said, was going to run out of this.
The SNAP benefits, yeah, the food
benefits
supplement,
and everything.
Yeah.
And I heard this. This is like Friday when Trump was saying, oh, they was asking him about it. It was like, oh I might I can. And the thing about it, he's got $50,000 for anybody who joins this ID, whatever it is.
Oh, ICE?
ICE,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, all they got to do is be 18.
And have a pulse.
Yeah, and go and get $50,000. And here people and the kids are hungry and everything. And he got I don't know about it, you know.
Well, there's a lot there to chop up. The 42 million people are being denied SNAP benefits because of the Republican Party prioritizing the uber wealthy and multinational corporations. When you boil it all down, that's what they're fighting for. This continuing resolution is being held up because the Democrats are saying at the end of this year, December 31st, the Affordable Care Act supplements go away. And without the supplements, the premiums for the insurance policies that about 40 million people, no, I take that back, about 50 million people utilize for the Affordable Care Act, originally known as Obamacare. With that expiring, that supplement expiring, you'll have somewhere between depending on the region and depending on the policy, a doubling, a tripling, or even a quadrupling in the monthly insurance policy. So let's say a family of four who, between the two working adults in the family, they make $80,000 a year before tax.
Okay.
And they buy their insurance on the market through the Affordable Care Act market. Their insurance policy, let's make it somewhere like $850 a month. Automatically, that doubles to $1,600 plus a month conservatively. Some states it's going to quadruple. So if that's the case, they're talking about $3,200 a month that they'll be paying for the same base level quality insurance that still has a copay, that still has deductibles, that still has them coming out of their pockets should they have the misfortune to need it. But that's what's going to happen. With that change in the number of people accessing the policy, the insurance companies are going to raise the price of the insurance to make up for this shortfall in revenue. And they're going to do that with people who have the Blue Crosses, the Aetnas, the UHCs. Their prices, our insurance is going to go up. And most people already live within a budget that if they're disciplined, they can get by on. And now you're telling people for the same piss poor insurance that we all have relative to what the rest of the world has, we're going to have to pay who knows how much more per month because the Affordable Care Act its supplements were allowed to expire. So the Democrats are saying we can't have that. That's going to be devastating. People will die because of that. So we're not going to agree to negotiate on this resolution until such time as you take the SNAP benefit expiration off the table and agree to extend it. You could do that now. So here's the other problem then. If the Republicans say, well, we'll do it, but only if you agree to come to the table right now, we'll do it, and then we'll guarantee that we'll allow for some type of negotiations down the road on health insurance and what the premiums are going to be, and we'll talk about having this these SNAP benefits continue indefinitely. Mm-hmm. So for no guarantees at all, the Republicans are offering concepts of a plan, mm-hmm. which is what Trump said what he was running on for insurance, mm-hmm. and they're telling the Democrats that we won't allow our constituency to starve or go hungry if you agree to concepts of a plan. Well, the ironic thing about it, if you look at sheer numbers of people who would have to do without the SNAP benefits, the food mm-hmm. that you need immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably people right now on November 3rd, 2 days after the food stamps expired, who are hungry already.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about predominantly red state people. Mm-hmm. Most of the people who take the SNAP benefits are white women in red states.
Yeah.
So in a way, you can say, well, you voted for this, mm-hmm. but this is too comprehensive. This affects too many people for us to be glib about who's going to suffer, because in those red states, they're in blue cities.
Yeah.
In those red cities, mm-hmm. you have voters who voted for Kamala, who vote for Democrats, mm-hmm. who understand the issues, and they're going to suffer.
Yeah.
And then, as I outlined earlier, we're all going to suffer if this insurance supplement expires and people start going hungry, mm-hmm. because food prices are going to rise.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have a death spiral with the economy, which is already beginning mm-hmm. with the lack of food, with the lack of health care.
Yep.
All for the Republicans to be able to say to their rich donors, I just saved you a few million more in your tax obligations. People who have private jets, mm-hmm. people who have multiple mansions, people who can live anywhere they want to in the world.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to make sure people go hungry for, and people don't have medical coverage. That's the reason why the Republicans are fighting for this.
And you would think, man, you know, most of the Republicans are from the states you're talking about, like
Alabama,
North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi,
Louisiana,
Kentucky, and
Texas.
Yeah.
States where they already have an education gap.
Yeah.
They have an economic gap.
Mm-hmm.
They depend on SNAP. And they also are being devastated by the lack of FEMA activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just talking to a gentleman last week when I was in Kentucky on business. And he was mentioning a town in eastern Kentucky in the Appalachian area that had been hit with that flood over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he said in this particular town, all the resorts are closed down, all the restaurants are closed down, all the stores are closed down, the street lights don't work, there's still debris along the road. They got intersections, he said, that are partially blocked by debris, all because the Republicans refuse to fund FEMA. Now, there's money sitting there, but they won't even they won't fund it, and it's inactive. So mm-hmm. you have people like in Texas, that flood that happened in Central Texas earlier this summer, where people had to go out on their property, move the debris themselves, and were finding cadavers there.
Yeah,
that's still going on.
Oh, yeah.
Those people still haven't had any FEMA help.
Yeah,
and you can look at some of these districts where FEMA help is lacking. You say, well, you asked for it.
Yeah.
You voted for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go on down the list of nightmares that we're living through right now, and that's this ICE Gestapo army that's out there.
That's what it is.
Now,
yes.
you were talking about the fact that these people live in states where people go hungry. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that's a broad problem. That's going to affect us all, and so is insurance. But with the ICE raids, you're seeing people suffer in areas where, for the most part, they voted for this.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but I've been told that ICE has been here in town. I've been told that in North Lansing, along Lake Lansing Road in Larch area, mm-hmm. that ICE raids have been going on. Home Depot on Waverly Road had a demonstration this past weekend because ICE apparently has been in there rounding up workers. People come in there looking for day mm-hmm. work, and people are protesting. So it's impacting all of us, but for the most part, you're looking at people who voted for this, mm-hmm. People in areas again, those typical red states
Yeah.
where they have ranches that they don't have workers,
You're right,
where
yeah.
they have dairy farmers where they don't have workers,
Yeah.
where they have poultry where they don't have workers.
Right.
Some of these big mega poultry farms and factories, for lack of a better term, where you see farmers who can't harvest their avocados and their lettuce and their tomatoes because they don't have enough workers.
Right.
And then you go back and you look at the voting rolls, they voted for this.
Yeah.
And you can't help but feel, if you're human, a little schadenfreude, a little bit of pleasure in the fact that you asked for this.
Yeah.
We tried to tell you what the
Yeah.
fool was going to do.
Yeah.
We told you to read Project
20, yeah,
2025.
yeah.
We pointed it out
Yeah.
to you, and you thought it was cool. You
Yeah.
thought you were cool voting for Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
For whatever reason, you thought this dude was somebody to look up to.
Yeah.
You thought he was cool and had it going on,
Yeah.
and you couldn't vote for a black
Yeah.
woman.
And all they
I
had to,
bet you would do it 5 times now.
all they had to do was look back to
At the
when
first time.
at the first time,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the reason he didn't do all this the first time because the people who was working for him then was people who wouldn't get into the same stuff that these people now.
Yeah, they
you know?
were an obstacle.
Yeah.
They said you can't do that.
Right.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
That's not allowed by the Constitution.
Yes.
And he was angry about
Yeah.
that. Well, he's got people now handpicked.
Yeah.
And he's also been able to penetrate these agencies too. So you have people in the FBI. You have people in the Justice Department who will do whatever Trump says and figure out a way to make it legal later.
Yeah.
If they can't make it legal later, they'll tell you too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
And the scary thing about this big ugly bill is the ICE Gestapo, a.k.a. Gestapo army that they're building, has only just begun.
Yeah.
They've got, I think it's something like $140 billion a month. They've got more money allocated for ICE than they do the Coast Guard, the National Guard, and many other agencies that have some type of quasi-military function combined.
Yeah.
They have more money allocated for ICE than most countries have for their armies.
Yep.
So if you've got the military of Mexico matched just with ICE, and you're telling people that I don't have to have probable cause, I don't have to have a warrant, I can do what I want to.
Yeah.
I can look at you and decide that I'm going to come after you. And the servile, bought and paid for Supreme Court has already said
Yeah.
that you don't need anything other than the fact that you woke up that morning.
Yeah.
Because you can go out and racially profile people according to the Supreme
Oh, yeah,
Court.
yeah.
So they don't have to worry about paperwork.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about probable cause. And the one thing they have going against them right now is people in the neighborhoods are standing up to them, and they're calling them out. They're calling them cowards. They're cussing them out.
Yeah.
They're telling them that they're not real men. If they had a legitimate reason to be there, they would take the mask off.
Yeah, take the
They would
shades
proudly
and everything.
display their name and number.
Yeah.
And they would say, I'm here to protect the country
Yeah.
or this particular geography from some type of threat to our liberties. But that's not what they're doing.
No.
They wear masks as part of the uniform. You won't see them without the mask.
No.
You don't see them in identifying
No.
marks. And we're also starting to hear, Ahmad, that some of these fools are figuring out they're not getting paid. They're out there in their personal vehicles, not getting reimbursed for their gas, not getting reimbursed for their meal expenses like they should be. If they get in crashes and accidents, they tell them to go call Jake and see State Farm and handle it because we're not going to do it. And now they're getting a little perturbed about it, and they're probably getting tired of being called punks and cowards. And other words I won't use on this telecast because I respect you. I'd use it freely if we had to why to describe who these guys are. But yeah, man, between the big ugly bill, the loss of SNAP benefits, the loss of the Affordable Care Supplements, the rough-shod violation of constitutional rights of citizens and people who are here legally, and even people who are here without documentation, you still have a constitution.
Yeah.
The idea of the Constitution is you're here. We are so civilized in advance. We protect every living, breathing here, even if you're not a citizen, with the right to an attorney, with the right to a jury, with a representation, a jury of his peers, that someone just can't bust in your door in the middle of the night and cart you off to jail. We don't do things like that. That's what Germany does.
Yeah.
But we do that now here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what really is the kicker for all this, for me, the outrageous part of all this is this asshole who calls himself a president just told the Justice Department to give him $230 million because they had the temerity to investigate him for charges that were brought on by January 6th. He had the temerity to tear down the historic eastern wing of the White House after promising he wasn't going to touch it.
Yeah, in July he promised it.
He said, I wasn't going to touch
Yeah.
it. Went in and just bulldozed it.
Yeah.
No architects that were affiliated with historic properties, no historians who knew what was there, what value was there, no engineers or historical architects who said, okay, we can preserve key pieces or maybe all of the eastern wing of the White House and still build a ball. He didn't do any of that.
No.
He didn't call anybody.
No.
He didn't go to Congress.
No.
He didn't ask for permission.
No.
He called in bulldozers and they knocked that thing down like it's his.
Yeah, and
that's the people's house.
That's the thing he was saying on something I think it was last week. Anyway, he was about, well, they told me I could do this and told me I could do this, and so I just went on doing it. It's like,
he's a liar.
Yeah.
He's just a liar.
Yeah, and everybody knows he's a liar, but, nobody raising up,
Oh, there's a lot of people raising up. I think right now, man, there's a very quiet mounting resistance to him within the organizations that comprise the United States. I think that the military is absolutely outraged with him, and this dry drunk whiskey breath cat Hegseth. I think that you have people within the CIA and the NSA and our military intelligence who are outraged by what he's been doing and how it's damaging us. So you add that all up, man, $230 million for his own pockets because he was bothered by the fact that he was investigated.
Yeah.
$300 million for this ridiculous ballroom, $500 million for a jet plane that he was given. And I'm probably leaving out other things that he's just directly spending our money and putting it in his pocket at the same time that people are losing their SNAP benefits, at the same time that people in our military aren't getting paid, at the same time that you have people that are going to be flying like me. I'm going to be on a plane tomorrow, and we don't have our air traffic controllers being paid.
No,
and many of the airports aren't fully staffed.
Yes.
What's going to happen when a couple planes collide in the air?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one who say enough of this fool, and we got to take him out of here and frog march him in front of the country and take him to The Hague. Then to further make me just outraged is we continue to send Israel $30 billion a year.
Yeah.
For them to go over there and just run over everybody's rights in the Middle East. They can't wait to start another war. They've been to war with 7 of their 8 neighbors in the last 2 years. They're still bombing Gaza.
Yeah.
They're still murdering babies.
Yeah.
And we send them money to do this.
Yeah.
And you know what they pay for college? Not a dime.
Yeah.
You know what they pay for health care?
Nothing.
Not a quarter.
Yeah.
They don't even have a copay.
Yeah.
They don't have a deductible. You just go in and get they get that. We can't have that here, but they say they need us to give them money.
Yeah.
So you look at all of this, man, and I think these aren't particular line item issues that I go around scrutinizing and bringing up. I see them being talked about in quarters that you wouldn't expect from people who are ostensibly right wing. Hell, just before Charlie Kirk got smoked, he was one of the people talking about we don't need to be sending Israel any more money. What they're doing to the people of Gaza is ridiculous. So why are we sending them all this money? And I'm not going to be the one. Of course, he got his head decapitated, but you're starting to see people wake up to the fact that they've been nourishing themselves on straight up lies every night they go home and they watch Jesse Waters and Sean Hannity and the rest of these liars. Because sooner or later, man, reality has a way of breaking in. And when you look at your insurance bill, when you look at your grocery bill, when you look at your babies over there hungry, and then they're telling you that the latest outrage is because they have some trans athlete who took a dump in the bathroom next to Mary, and he won the track meet. Oh, Trump is for us, Kamala's for they, and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
All that stuff's coming home to roost now. And again, man, there's a part of me that says, yeah, man, suffer. Because I told you this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I remember specifically having a talk with a young woman whose husband was on military disability, who also had long-term disability because he had mental health issues. They didn't make enough money to finance a peanut butter sandwich, so they're in Section 8 housing. They're on SNAP benefits, and they're on Medicare. And she had the nerve to tell me, Matt, unsolicited. I didn't ask her what she wanted to do. She came to me and asked me to leave Trump alone because he was a good man, and she couldn't vote for Kamala. I said, why not? I was amused because I know her. This dude is almost family to me.
Yeah.
You know, I watched him grow up. He's like a little brother around my neighborhood. When the cats were playing ball, he was always there, and you know he had a nice little game for kids. So I always looked out for him. And she told me she didn't want her 3 kids to go to school and have to go in the bathroom with someone of the other gender. And I'm like, baby, really? You know how many transgender athletes there are at the high school and college level? Maybe a couple hundred.
Yeah. Yeah.
You worried about that?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your children eat 3 meals 7 days a week because of the existence of programs that Project 2025 tells me. They didn't tell you because you don't read.
Right,
You
right.
watch Fox.
Right.
But told me they're getting rid of first
Yeah.
chance they get.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't on them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep on eating. I'm probably going to go home and have a steak tonight. But she is going to lose her Medicare.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to lose her SNAP.
Yeah.
Section 8's down the road. That's part of Project 2025. So what you going to do? Now you going to cry? And you better not look too ethnic because ICE might come get you anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
all this stuff, man, is all coming up. And Ahmad, it's just turning November.
Yeah.
This fool just got in office at the end of January.
Yeah.
And in these few short months, man, he's absolutely decimated the United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the one thing that he has going for him is the stock market. You know, I had a wealthy friend hit me up there, well, how's your portfolio doing? I said, man, the market and the economy are 2 different things. If you're a good market manager, you can scrutinize what this cat is doing and figure out where to park your money and where to pull it out of because his inconsistencies with these tariffs have
Yeah.
been figured out.
Yeah.
And people can tell by the signals which way it's going. And, of course, China remains a very good investment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of places to park your money. But what about the economy?
Yeah.
What about the real thing, the economy?
Yeah.
And that tells me that unemployment's going up. That tells me that prices are going up.
Yeah.
Inflation is still rising. That tells me that farmers don't have workers, that construction companies don't have workers,
No.
that slaughterhouses and dairy farms and these chicken factories don't have workers.
Right.
Food's rotting in the field. Prices go up. You
Yeah.
know, it's supply and demand.
Yeah.
The demands remain the same.
Yeah.
But the supply is going down. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Prices go up.
And I was reading somebody, I forget what company it is laying off 14,000 people.
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14,000?
Oh, yeah. And they're not the only ones.
No.
Yeah.
It was a couple more. I can't remember who the other one was.
Well,
But
General Motors is laying off people.
yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to become part of a realistic ramification of all the foolishness of this guy's administration. And then last night he's on 60 Minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And,
He was on 6
and
minutes.
just lying with a bash. And arrogant, man. Just arrogant with his lies. You know, he said, and I'm looking at him. And honestly, Ahmad, as I watched him, man, I did more laughing than I did get mad. Because he looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here's a man who wears more hairspray than Karen for leaving the beauty shop. He wears more makeup
Yeah.
than little Mary Beth going to the prom.
Yeah.
He wears a girdle.
Yeah.
He wears shoe lifts. He wears heels. And that is the avatar for masculinity for these right-wing
Yeah,
Republican men.
yeah.
See, that's why y'all soft, man.
Yeah.
That you always crying about the fact that you're involuntarily celibate. Well, if this dude is your example of manhood, a liar,
Yeah.
a cheater,
Yeah.
a guy who cares less about anybody other than himself, including his own children.
Right.
That's your avatar?
Yeah.
That's your example of what
Yeah.
a man is?
Yep.
No wonder you suffer.
Yeah.
No wonder women don't want to have anything to
Yeah.
do with you. No wonder you can't find a good job.
Yeah.
You don't want anything other than to be like him? Well, go out and lie and cheat, man.
Yeah.
Maybe come back and be born to a daddy who's going to leave you $400 million.
Yeah, and this is a man who is the lionest person ever been, and he the lionest person that'll ever be. You know,
Yeah.
the man's been ever since he remember, he's been a liar.
Oh, that's all he is.
You
Now,
know?
the Washington Post did. I stopped reading the Washington Post because they punked out when Trump won the second term, and they started firing all their progressive and liberal commentators like Gene Robinson and others that I read for years. So I stopped subscribing. So I don't know if they still count the number of lies he tells, but they used to have a tracker.
Yeah.
In his first term, it was 36,000 documented lies.
Yeah.
Where they say there's no way that was a misspeak. There's no way that he got hedged a little bit wrong. The color, he just flat out lied.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about the ones that you and I would say, oh, that fool's lying.
Right.
No, we are not even talking about that. So I don't know where he is now, but he has no compunction about telling an absolute bald-faced lie
No.
when you're looking at the man.
Yeah.
And then he goes overseas to Asia last week, and they're laughing at him,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
They're looking at him like, look at this ass
Ooh,
hat.
yeah, you know.
Well, America, we used to think y'all was all of that in a bag of
Yeah.
chips. You must not be about shit.
Yeah.
If this is what you got,
Yeah, and
he can't find his way down the food line.
right.
I
You
mean,
know,
come on, man.
And then when you back it all back, the man is a rapist.
Yeah.
He's a rapist because he's been convicted.
And that was just a civil litigation where the word of E.G. Carroll was confirmed and has been confirmed in an appeal where Trump didn't want to pay her the money. They said, yeah, you still owe the money. She was right. You raped her. But we didn't even talk about the other 26 credible women who said that Trump raped
Yeah.
them. We're not talking about the dozens of children.
Yeah.
Let's not call them women.
No.
We're talking about children
Yeah.
who were raped by Trump and Epstein.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the fact that Trump had something like 4,000 documented transactions where he sent money to Epstein.
Yeah.
He was on Epstein's plane scores of times. He was on Epstein's island 7 times. He met his woman on Epstein's plane, who was a jump off for Epstein. And Trump got whooped. So this is the caliber of person we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So the idea that people look at him and say, yeah, that's someone I want to be like, is absolutely amazing to me. And the ones who really they used to make me angry, but now it kind of makes me smile, are these black Trump supporters
Yeah.
and these Cuban,
Yeah.
Venezuelan,
Yeah.
Hispanic voters in measure. Because you got to remember, I won't forget, the majority of Hispanic men in the United States of America said, that's the cat I want to
Yeah.
vote for.
62%.
Yeah.
You know?
And a large minority of Hispanic women, maybe a small majority of Hispanic women voted for him too.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even want to know why anymore.
No.
All I want to know is what you going to do when ICE comes to the door.
Yeah. All right. We out of time. But
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.